Welcome back to the Unconquered Podcast film session. We're looking at Renardo Green in this particular video. We're going to be focusing on what he brings to the table as a recruit and what Florida State is, what they can expect from him early and late in his career. So, first things first, he's 5'11", good size. One of the things that'll stand out on this tape, look at that length. For 5'11", those are some long arms. You want to see where a guy's arms come down. Do those hands get close to the knees or even past them? He's a long 5'11", so that's already a plus. Now, what you're looking for, again, as we've talked about on prior videos, what you're looking for with a corner, what you're looking for is length. You're looking for easy speed and fluidity. You're looking for ball skills, and that's something you see here. And this is something that this tape actually shows repeatedly, is that this guy has very good ball skills. He's a two-way athlete who just finds a way to get his hands on the football. This is one of those guys that I think just... He might end up being that guy that surprises people as a bit of a turnover creator at the next level because of the kind of ball skills that he just seems to have. So that sticks out already. Now, you can see here, you compare this to, say, some of the stuff that we've looked at on the among the prior 5 stars. This is not elite speed. This is not a Jalen Ramsey. This is not a Marlon Humphrey. That's good speed, and you can see good acceleration there, but it's not the easy elite. One way to think about, or one way to measure this, a lot of scouts will actually talk about looking for two-steppers. These are guys who take 2 steps for every 5 yards, just as a rule. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So he's just a little bit between that, and that gives you a sense of what the athleticism of a given prospect is. So you can see right here, because stride length is actually the biggest factor in terms of overall speed. So you look at here, his acceleration right there. You've got foot down, foot down, foot down. That's 2.5. Foot down, foot down, foot down. So he's not a true two-stepper, so not elite speed. You'd expect him to be like a 4.65, 4.6 guy in terms of legitimate timing systems and that sort of thing. But that's still very good. And again, you're looking at a guy that, in terms of his fluidity, in terms of his ability to turn and move and do all of that, very good. And again, the ball skills, I think, are outstanding. That's what stands out as much as anything, although you definitely don't want to do that. The ball skills are excellent. The fluidity is excellent. You can see the foot quickness there, putting the feet up and down. Again, ball skills. Who comes down with that? He does. Definitely can turn and run. Not the fastest guy in this class by any stretch, but a guy that I think in Florida State's system, and there we see the physicality. That's the final thing that you're really looking for, that you want to see at this level. You see that he brings some length, he brings some physicality, and he brings excellent ball skills. Now, another thing is that he lines up at safety some here and shows that he can come down and play from that safety position. And that's been an issue in Florida State's system, is that field safety, they've just not had people that have seemed really natural there. And here again, we can see he's not as fast turning and running from this spot as some other guys have been that we've evaluated. He's not getting out in front there, but he's able to go up and get it. But, being able to play this position makes him that much more valuable in Florida State's system. And I think he's a really smart player. And that's one of the reasons why his ball skills, his knack for being in the right place, really stands out to me. And again, this is a guy that as a two-way athlete, I think gives you a very high floor player for Florida State's system. I think he's a little. I think his ranking overall nationally probably fair, probably pretty fair, but for Florida State's system, he's a better player than his ranking. If that makes any sense to those of you out there, I think this is a guy that can come in and contribute and can be a turnover creator down the line in Florida State's system. I'm curious to see exactly where he fits in terms of his in terms of how quickly he's able to win a job, and there's some other really elite players in this class. I think he's going to be able to compete even with those guys just because of some of these other traits that he brings to the table. So very interested in that in seeing where he ends up. But I think he's and again, you see that the speed is not elite here. Those hot corners are screwing me up here. The speed is not as this is really what keeps him from being a five-star player, is you're looking at a guy that's really more of a 4.6 guy than a 4.4 guy. And that suddenness there, not quite as good. The fluidity is there. The suddenness and the long speed are really where he's not quite as elite. But again, everything else is there. The ball skills are there, and the intelligence, the anticipation, the intuition to play the position, and also the flexibility. I think he can play three positions in the secondary long term. Gives you a guy that, again, you're if that's the guy that you're gonna have as in your secondary, say 2-3 years down the line, you're pretty confident that at least he's not going to be a weakness. And I think that's that gives you a lot to build on there in terms of what they brought in. So we'll go ahead and wrap there. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next player, Jarvis Brownlee, in the next video.